Sometimes we find ourselves faced with an impossible task. Sometimes there's just too much to overcome, no way out and no path to success. In those moments, it can be difficult to still hang on and have faith in God. However, it is moments like this where faith is most needed. While it might seem like every way forward has been cut off, the Lord will have prepared a way for us if we just trust in Him. In Exodus 14, the Israelites found themselves in an impossible situation. Their backs were against the Red Sea. The Egyptian army was charging toward them with the intent not to bring them back into bondage, but to destroy them completely. This wasn't just about their freedom any longer. This was life and death. Today, we know the end of the story, but the children of Israel didn't, and it must have been terrifying to see the hordes of Pharaoh's army bearing down on them. At this desperate moment, the Lord commanded Moses to lift up his rod and divide the sea. That must have seemed completely nonsensical at the moment, but Moses did as he was commanded, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night that made the sea dry land. Imagine you were there, standing on the shore of the Red Sea, watching the winds blow the water back to create dry land for you to escape through. Would you have had the faith to walk in the midst of this miraculous path? Or would you have doubted how long the wind could hold the waves back? At times in our lives, we face impossible challenges, insurmountable odds that just cannot be overcome. But more often than not, the Lord can open a pathway for us to find our way through these difficulties. Sometimes it was something as crazy as walking into a path where the forces of destruction were only held back by a steady wind. Sometimes the test might be trusting the word of the Lord through a prophet of God is really true. In any case, the final test of our faith will be our willingness to keep moving forward. Imagine what it must have been like for the Israelites to walk into the path in the middle of the Red Sea. Water to the right of you, water to the left of you, and only a narrow avenue of escape down the middle. It took faith for them to trust Moses and to move forward. Likewise, when we face a crisis in our lives, there usually comes a moment when the path forward becomes clear to us and the Lord lets us know the right thing to do. But moving forward can take a lot of faith and trust. Just as miracles happened during the Exodus, miracles happen in our time. If we trust in God and keep moving forward, the solutions will present themselves. I like to do a little exercise when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I pull out my journal and look at what was troubling me 1 year ago. At the time, it usually seemed like there was no solution to the problems I faced. But only a year removed from that time, I usually can see that God was preparing a solution, and I just had to keep moving forward until He showed it to me. Looking back, the solution to my problem seemed really simple, but that didn't take away from the pressure and anxiety I felt at the time. The Israelites not only found a way to escape their enemies, but God used the parting of the Red Sea to rid them of their pursuers once and for all. He can do the same for us. It can be frightening when we are standing on the shore of the Red Sea, waiting for the way to open, but the Lord will always prepare a way and lead us into our own promised land.